Why is the PSU so popular for product development teams? Because there's a gap. There's this massive gaps. We talk a lot about, in the product development world, we talk a lot about Scrum, right? Scrum's not the only process, but it is the predominant process. It's the way most people talk about Agile and product development today. It's the way most people characterize and phrase it, right? They use Scrum terminology in the way they speak. It's kind of been adopted. But Scrum itself does not talk about where do you get your backlog from, right? It just says have a backlog, have it ordered. That's product backlog. Here it is. Well, where does it come from? How do you know what you should put in there? How do you know if the things you put in there and that you've delivered are actually the right thing? And that's kind of the purpose of the learnings that come out of the PSU. So the professional Scrum with user experience looks at kind of two things. One is, how do we integrate all of those ideas that have come out of the expert and awesome work done in the user experience world? How do we integrate that into the product ownership world, right? Product owners are often user experience experts or have access to user experience experts who are able to help them formulate a more of a hypothesis-driven engineering practice, where they're looking forward, not only looking forward into the future and figuring out what it is we need next, but also looking into the past of what we have delivered, and did it actually provide the value we need, or do we need it to be slightly different? So there's a lot of awesome work in there that's really important. But quite often the experts in that space have to spend too much time fixing, I'm going to phrase this badly, but fixing the problems that the engineering teams create because they don't understand those things. So engineering teams make decisions, just like with lack of security, right? You make decisions based on, I need to get this work done, not on how do I support this holistic, long-term, infinite game that we're playing of delivering valuable product. So by those experts encouraging and enabling the engineering teams to take on the parts of that work that don't need the deep expertise, they just need some skills, right? The PSU enables engineering teams to make better decisions so that enables them to understand the additional value that those deep experts in user experience bring to that story, and hypothesis-driven engineering bring to that story, so they respect that more because they understand how it fits into their story. But also the engineering team can take a lot of that lower level work of perhaps gathering the data, perhaps actually implementing the test of the hypothesis off the plate of the experts, and give them more time to dive more deeply into the expertise and what does the future look like, and strategizing and planning for the future, and figuring out whether we've actually built the right things. So for me, that value of the PSU is in bringing those two worlds together more closely, in giving the teams the understanding of user experience that they need to respect it and value it, and giving the user experience folks enough understanding of what the engineering teams are trying to do and how they can incorporate their work and engage with the engineering teams so that we have more successful outcomes. And hopefully everybody sees the value of having these cross-functional teams, not necessarily cross-functional individuals, but cross-functional teams where you have user experience on the team so that they're able to work closely with the product owner to help build out new ideas, as well as work with the team during the sprint in order to make sure that the ideas we are building are as valuable and successful as possible.